we are focusing on stress, and there's a type of stress, we call it spiritual stress. Spiritual stress. And I believe it's the hidden factor in chronic illness. It's something that we don't normally consider in healthcare. But I believe it's a stress that needs to be addressed, especially in chronic illnesses. So, let me change it. My name is Dr. Kenneth Fung. I'm a retired doctor, medical doctor. And we hope to have this series each week, every Thursday from 1 to 2, to share and discuss the role of spiritual stress in your life and how it can affect you and helping you to find meaning to your life. If you wish, you can introduce yourself by mentioning your name. You could say whether you're retired or work part-time or whatever else. Okay? Right. So what is stress? Stress is a natural, spontaneous, defensive response that alerts a person to potential unexpected harm, imminent danger to their physical, emotional, social, and spiritual well-being. Yeah, I'll repeat that. Stress is a natural response, a defensive response that alerts a person to potential unexpected harm, imminent danger to their physical, emotional, social, and spiritual well-being. How is stress alerted? The alert is perceived by your senses. The five senses are your sight, is what you perceive, what you hear, what you touch, what you smell, and what you taste. And it also arises from the conscious and subconscious mind, which may arouse your memories. You may recall events in your life, especially in the past, that have been traumatic, that cause you to be angry or cause you to feel guilty or whatever it might be. But sometimes when you recall these memories, it can evoke feelings of anger or hate or guilt or whatever it might be. Now, how are these senses perceived in the body? It's through your brain, what we call the autonomic nervous system. You've heard them talk about the fight and the flight syndrome, and the endocrine organs of the body that causes your heart to race, that causes you to feel tired, to affect your appetite, all these things. When these things are developed in your body, you may wonder if you're getting depressed, or you might feel lost, or you just feel disconnected. All of these could be stress signs to you. I believe that stress is really fear. fear. And if you know, like in the Bible it says, perfect love casts out fear. Yes, perfect love casts out fear. So in a way, we know love is the remedy for fear. But fear could be good too. And if it warns you of danger, we know that in the fight or flight response, if the danger subsides, defense response subsides, and the affected organs of the body return to normal. However, if the stress persists and the risk of serious physical, psychosocial, and spiritual problems can develop. Stress can be seen as acute stress, where it just suddenly happens, like in an accident, for instance, or some unexpected incident that threatens your health and your well-being, or it could become chronic, where whatever the irritant is, it remains there, it persists. And when that stress persists, as I said before, it affects the brain, it affects the autonomic nervous system, that's the fight or flight syndrome, you may have heard of that, and it affects the endocrine organs of the body, such as your thyroid gland. The thyroid gland may become underactive, it could affect your insulin, like in diabetes. It could affect your hormonal glands, you become impotent, or you lose the desire for any sexual life, things like that. Now stress can be acute, as I said, or it could become chronic. Acute stress, what would be an example of acute stress? For instance, can it affect your blood pressure? Can it affect your appetite? Can it affect your sleep pattern? Can it affect your energy level, your mood, etc.? I believe the answer is yes. And in one way, could acute stress be good? Could it be good? Yes, in one way it could be good because it could warn you of potential danger to yourself. It could make you be aware that maybe whatever is happening in your lifestyle may not be good, and therefore a need to change, a need to correct, a need to put things in order. Chronic stress, though, sometimes we call it toxic stress. And why is that so? Because whatever that irritant is, it's like a machine racing. It's like your foot on the accelerator of a car, and you, with your foot press the accelerator down, but the gear is in neutral. So the engine is racing fast, but you're not going anywhere. So think of that. Your heart starts to beat fast. Right? Many times it could upset your digestive system. You could get diarrhea. You could lose all your energy. You may have difficulty sleeping. You may be irritable. You may lose patience. All the things we know that bug us when we don't feel well. But stress could be the factor in all of these things. And the reason we call it toxic, because if it persists, something is going to break down, something is going to happen. But what really is stress? I would like to suggest fundamentally it's like love versus fear. Love is the things that help us to feel secure and help us to feel like a somebody and help us to feel calm. Fear is what challenges us to make us aware that there's a potential danger. Now that fear could be good at times if the danger could cause harm to you. But sometimes the fear is there when everything seems okay. So why is that fear there? And I will show that later, how it relates to your personality. So in a way, dealing with stress is really dealing with love versus fear in relation to the well-being of a person. And I want to remind you that perfect love casts out fear. Perfect love. Fear, as we know, could generate feelings of anger, guilt, shame, etc. And it could generate thoughts of, I'm not good, I'm a failure, I'm stupid, it's my fault, all negative thoughts. And the behavior could be one of inferiority, I am not worthy, or it could be one of a bully, or it could be one of just being shy, or it could be one of feeling they're superior, they're better than everybody else. And all of these are dysfunctional ways, but it's also a way of coping. It's what you find works for you when things are not right. And unfortunately, it affects social life, it affects relationships, it affects your life in general, and create a very narcissistic, negative personality. What do I mean by narcissistic? It's all about you. All you could think about is yourself, and just look good, be nice, anything to get attention. Anything to feel like a somebody, because something has happened in your life that caused you to feel inferior, caused you to feel not good enough, caused you to believe all those lies. I call them lies. And why? Because we are not inferior, we are lovable human beings. But circumstances in our life may cause us to feel inferior and it could affect your physical health. So I may want to have the most beautiful physical body, or I might get caught up in just doing exercise, which in one way is good. But as you know, too much of one thing is good for nothing. or it could affect your intellectual health. You may feel you have to study and you have to get 100% in everything. And if you don't get that, something is wrong. So it puts pressure on you. Pressure, tension, stress. Emotional health might cause you to feel inferior or cause you to feel superior. It causes you to worry a lot. It causes you to be full of fears. All those sort of things, fear of failure. It can affect your sexual health. Sexually, you may think you are ugly, or you don't think you have a nice figure, or you don't think you know how to love. All those things. And spiritually, your spiritual health carry a lot of guilt because you may feel that spiritually you're not living your life as you know you should be. And you're doing maybe things that you should not do. But sometimes when you become addicted, you come to a point in your life where really you cannot help yourself and you need help. But often the challenge is to be able to see that. Relational health, relationships. If I came to believe that people love me because I have lots of money, then money becomes my God. If I believe people love me because the way how I dress and how I look, then outward appearances would become very good for a top priority for me. And in trying to maintain that all the time creates stress. Or not being able to cope. Some people might perceive themselves as clumsy, or we say like you got two left feet, and or we look awkward, so we want to play games, but we don't have that coordination, or we don't feel we're very good. All these negative things creates a very negative effect on us. And how we deal with it will determine how our life evolves. And that could lead to physically, physical pain, headaches. It's not uncommon to see someone come into the office because of bad headaches. They might relate it to the stress at work or the stress in their own family life. And maybe because they put expectations on themselves that are not realistic, but they need that affirmation to tell them that they're okay. But if you know who you are, you do not need people to tell you that you're okay. If you know you are loved for who you are, you do not need people to tell you, I love you. It's nice for them to say that, and you would love them to say that. But if they do not say that, it does not mean they do not love you. They may be going through a difficult time too. Psychologically, that stress creates a lot of mental stress, a lot of fears, a lot of worrying. What's wrong with me? And we know that when that stress persists and develops in your brain, it could affect your hormones. You heard them talk about depression, and you hear them talk about the different chemical changes. Scientifically, we address those scientific changes with medication, but we never cure the underlying root cause of stress, or the underlying root cause of depression, or the underlying root cause of physical pain when it is stress related. The same way for your social life. When we have no friends, when we have no money, when we have no work. Those things are stressful, and rightly so. But if you start to believe that it's because you're no good and you're not worth it, and that you start to feel that you are inferior, or you feel that nobody likes you, then you become your worst enemy. And this is why I've come to realize your spirit, because we are spiritual human beings, that when you lose your true self, your authentic spiritual identity of who you are, this is where the deepest problem occurs. And unfortunately, we do not address this in healthcare, but I believe this is the deepest root cause of a lot of our stress situations in life. And the part of that problem is we look for people to love us. We look for people to treat us well all the time. The reality is there's no such person in this world that can love you all the time with your lumps and your bumps. And no person can have all that tolerance. But when you become needy and you're wounded, you put these expectations on your spouse, or your worker, or your co-workers, or whoever it might be. And this is where a lot of conflicts that leads to divorce, that leads to broken relationships, and to lead to physical problems like high blood pressure, diabetes, what we call autoimmune diseases, fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis. You think of all these conditions. Medically, we can treat all these conditions, but we never cure it. That's why you have to keep taking your medication for the rest of your life. And if you have to take it, it's okay. But what I'm suggesting to you, that in addition to your medication, discovering who you are as a spiritual human being, as an authentic person, is what relieves you of a lot of pressure. Now, if the symptoms persist, it can develop into very serious physical, psychological, social, and spiritual problems. As an example, what would be a serious physical problem? Like, would high blood pressure be considered a serious problem? Would rheumatoid arthritis considered a serious problem? Would autoimmune diseases, even basic things like diarrhea, we call it colitis, we give it all these fancy names, psoriasis, but it's really the body rejecting itself. It's the body rejecting itself to some degree. Same way psychologically. In that sense, it becomes even more important to know who you are. For instance, if I was to lose my license to practice medicine, and I felt I was unfairly treated, I would be very angry, and that would cause a lot of stress in me. And I will be determined to fight, say like in a court of law. At the same time though, if it should turn out that I never get my license back, does that mean that's the end of my life? Especially when I say, don't you know who I am? And then you say to me, who are you? And I say, I'm a medical doctor. And you say to me, No, that is what you are. But who are you? And I want to make that distinction because that's the problem that all of us face. Who you are and what you are is two different categories and very important. What I am, I'm a doctor, and yes, I feel good about that, yes, and it enables me to enjoy life in a way that maybe others cannot. But who you are is more important than that. Because who you are, I believe, in my case, I'm a child of God. Who told you that? I believe my parents taught me that. I believe I go to church. They taught me the Bible. I met other people who think likewise, and they love me for who I am. That is who you are. But we do things to, what shall I say, to discredit that. For instance, when I know who I am and God loves me, it helps me to love myself. But if I only love myself because I'm a doctor, and I'm not a doctor anymore, I will have difficulty loving myself because I may feel like nothing. And this is what happens to a lot of us in life. When we lose what we have, we feel we are nothing. But although you feel that way, that's not really so. I'm coming to discover the truth about yourself, because the truth is what sets you free to become what you were created to be. I was not only created to become a doctor, I was created to love. I was created to have a family. I was created to get married. I was created to help others. I was created to serve. So you're created to love one another. That's the key. That's the key. And you do it out of love, not to be rewarded, not for people to see how nice you are. Now that's the challenge for each of us. But we need each other to help each other to achieve these goals. And in doing that, this is where community, fellowship becomes so important. This is where, as we say, no man is an island. You think you can live by yourself, but the truth is you cannot. So we need each other. And I'm hoping that these little meetings we have each Thursday from 1 to 2 will help us to grow in that love and help us to help each other and to help us to grow in this fellowship. And I just want to thank the True Love Cafe, the owners and the staff for giving me this opportunity to speak to you all. Thank you very much.